Hi, Joanna.
Hello, Mr. Marston.
How are you?
Good, and you?
The word on the street is that you're weighing your weight is the lowest it's ever been.
Yes, it is.
What's going
It
on?
is. It's pretty exciting. I am doing 36 hours not eating and 12 hours eating, so 36, 12. Um,
You're crazy. Don't give us details. Details later. Let's talk about my T-shirt first. That's the important stuff. So I miss. I wish Christmas was here. I know it's only February, but I wish Christmas was here. And I just wanted to express it. So that's number one. Number two is why are we here? So Marcin and Joanna, we talk about our weight loss journey. Let me explain. So when you started, I think it was you were like 190 something. I was 272, I think, or 274, something like that. And we, when sometimes when people look at us, it's like, dude, you don't look like a person that another person wants to look like. Yes, we're not here for gym buffs and people that want to be super slim. We're here for just 97% of population. So if you have probably 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 pounds to lose, we're definitely the solution. And to say that we're just basically sharing what works for us.
yeah,
We found that intermittent fat. We've tried all kind of stuff. We did P90X. We did 4 Hour
for
Body. We
our
did ketogenic diet. You did what was the
Weight
point
Watchers.
thing? Weight
Weight Watchers.
Watchers. What else did we do?
I think that's it. We kind of switch back and forth from all those.
If it's there, we did the beet soups per mom's recommendation, which is absolutely insane. We did
Cabbage was cabbage soup.
cabbage soup. We did hydroxycut back in the day when we
Yeah.
were totally stupid and knew nothing about weight and then health. So I think we qualify to like now after just tons of information, reading coaches, trainers, paying
Well,
thousands of
I
dollars. Jesus Christ. But we found something that helped us lose 110 pounds. So we now don't like to go out there and say, hey, here's our opinion. So here's something we found. Here's something that works for us. If you want to join us, actually, let me point you here. You can scan this baby. You can join us in the group. You can join the conversations. You can actually reach out straight to Joanna and me if you have any questions. You can ask us anything, and we'll be able to just help you out as much as we can. So that's really what it is. So now you know why we're here. The
Mhm.
third exciting news is I'm going to Vegas, baby. Maybe that's why I'm in a good mood. But I'm gonna ask Joanna actually probably at the end of this episode to give me some tips because she travels all the time. And if you travel sometimes and you want to know how to stay on track with your eating the sort of right way, let's ask her at the end of this call because I need some tips because I'm gonna be at the airport on the plane, deplaning or doing whatever. So that will be super helpful.
Yeah.
What are we
I'll
talking about today? What's the main topic?
So today we want to talk about how to break your fast. It is very important in how you're going to break your fast. I
Okay.
concentrate on breaking the fast that is longer than 24 hours, but basically any breakfast is breaking a fast, right? Because your gut has not been working, even if it's only 8 hours while you're sleeping or whatever it is. Breakfast comes from breaking this fasting time period. So what you put in your mouth at the beginning after fasting any amount of time is very important. But it is crucial for people that fast 24 hours and on. So we're going to go over when to use this type of kind of steps of what to eat, uh, what are the best ways to break a fast, why, and just individually go why I'm recommending these certain foods. That's what I do, you guys, and it's from experience.
Is this a point where I should be saying something or I'm
How do you
confused?
break your fast?
So actually, no, you know what? Actually, I was writing a question as you were speaking. I said, if is it is it mandatory? Because I know this is a question that we always fight about. Because you
Mhm.
do it the right way. Obviously, I'm lazy, so I just don't do it. But I think you're kind of winning me over slowly because I've noticed that it does make a difference actually. So
Yeah.
I don't I'm probably I don't know if I'm skipping forward, but the thing is maybe you'll talk about what happens if you don't,
Mhm.
but I know people talk about different things like constipation or diarrhea or something when they go too crazy too fast. I don't have problems with those, but I notice that when I actually break it in the
Mhm.
right way, I actually feel better, like
Yeah.
noticeably better, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
back to you. I don't know.
So just to let you guys know, I have broken my longer fast the right way and the bad way, and overall feeling breaking it the wrong way, I don't feel good for the rest of the day. If I break it the right way, I feel good for the rest of the day. I am full longer, and even squeezing the extra protein in is hard because I've just been eating the correct things, which then the internal system, the GLP-1 kicks in my natural one kicks in and says, "Whoa, you're full here. You're good. We got what we need."
When you
So
say don't feel well, again, I just mentioned a couple things like constipation, diarrhea, I don't know, headaches, or like what does that mean? What does that mean in your world when you don't feel well?
in my world, it's horrible bloating. I can actually, my stomach just goes out. I feel full. I feel very tired right away. I have to take a nap. Sometimes it brings on a headache. So for me, are those signs? And I th- and I think it's possible that I think I also get constipated.
Yeah,
Um,
for and I got to tell you, the bloating, I'm totally with you. So when I said I
mhm.
feel better, and I kind of step it in, when I
Yeah,
when I do the steps, I actually I feel better this way because I get horrible bloating if I
yeah,
just, and it could be, and I'm not saying anything like bad or a lot of food. It could be just small quantities, but if it's not the right food, like I feel it more. And for me, it's not constipation; it's diarrhea. Out of all the things, the body
yeah,
is just like because it's. And we're talking long. Like for me, it's usually the longer fasts, right? So
mhm,
like if
yeah,
my body is without food for a while, like it's resting, sitting there, and then you
yeah,
suddenly introduce it to some sort of a weird combo because we tend to eat more. Like when you have an
correct.
extended thing, you eat one thing, another thing, you snack on one thing as you're preparing the thing, and then you probably have a snack or something in the end. So probably that's why.
Yes, definitely happens to me. So
Yeah.
let's start with when to use this. We kind of mentioned this a little bit. Um, if you get into a habit of eating the correct thing from any fast that you do, no matter how many hours, that's great. You have a step forward, right? So you always want your number one, any any breakfast that you have when you're breaking your fast, um, of 12 hours or more, you want to make sure it's a savory breakfast. Just stick to that, you guys, and it will change the world for you. So don't put any breads into it. Don't put any oatmeals. Stick to your greens, your proteins, and as well as your good fats. So savory breakfast. Now, for those people that are going for 24 hours and on, you want to definitely take steps slowly introducing food into your system. Remember, your system, your whole digestive system has just been shut down for 24 hours or more. Like in my case, it's 36 hours. There has been nothing in my gut, nothing in my stomach but water. So my body has been dormant, right? It's been just sitting there, not doing anything. So you want to slowly introduce it into like, hey, okay, we got to start working here, right? It's just like Marcin yells at me when I turn the car on and want to take off. No, 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 you got to wait for the engine to start up. we want to do the same thing here. Pretend that this is your car you're driving. When you turn it on, you want it slowly for the RPMs to go down and then take off.
Yeah, great. Yeah, great. I'm glad that sticks. So what she meant was not for the engine to start up, for the engine to warm up, right?
Sorry.
So it's just a thing. And all the women out there and some guys too, remember when you start your car, don't slam it immediately. Foot off the pedal a little bit, let it warm up. Sorry, I'm segueing out. Back to you.
So yeah, so that's what we want to do. Your body has been, like I said, resting. We, we don't want to overstimulate it, so we want to slowly introduce the food the correct way, and sort of in the correct order too, because not feeding it food, not giving it sugar, all your bad bacteria in your gut has died off. So when you're craving sugar at this point, it's not because your gut is asking for it. Now this is just your brain asking for it, because the bacteria that feeds, like I said, the bacteria that feeds off sugar, you just killed it off by not feeding it. And 24 hours is all it takes. So if you move it to 36 hours, that's even better.
Hold on one second. I just learned something. Is that true? The bacteria that feeds off of sugar actually dies?
Correct.
Oh wow. All right. 27th episode it took for me to learn that one thing. I thought it's still there. It's just what okay, great. I mean,
I mean,
fantastic.
yeah. Is it going to completely die off? Remember, if you've been eating
Yeah.
sugar, yeah.
Right.
But
It
this
becomes not
killing it.
deactivates or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, good. Good.
Yeah. So, so, so we want to sort of keep it that way, and start again. We're introducing our system into working again, right? So, some of the foods, how you want to eat them. First, you want to start off with bone broth. I'll mention the foods first, and then we'll go into why. So, bone broth first. Then we go into your fermented foods. After fermented, you want to go to your prebiotic foods. And after that, you want to go into some clean proteins. Okay. Marcin, if you can maybe show us the picture that I have of the foods that we have at our home right now, that serve those purposes. Perfect.
Okay.
Here we go. So again, we have our kettle fire. That's our bone broth. Our choice of bone broth. They have different varieties that we go for. We heat it up a little bit. Just add some spices into it. Again, spices without sugar, so be careful what spice you put in there. But I usually do some pepper and sometimes some turmeric, some curry, and some salt. So that's my first thing that I'm gonna take, and it takes about so I heat it up. I just drink a cup, no more, because at this point drinking a cup does not take me out of fasting window yet,
Mm.
which is pretty cool, I think. It slowly introduces some food into my digestive system,
Hmm.
as well as that nice broth. The fat that's in the broth lines my stomach, as well as my intestines. So
What
it gives you
what if
like
you
this nice. Mhm.
what if you had that cup and I'm just like you got busy, hopped on a call, you started working. You said it doesn't break fast, so you can potentially extend your fast even more, right?
Correct.
Yeah. All right.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct. So, but for my process, so I do this. I drink my cup. When I start drinking it, I actually set my timer on my watch for 30 minutes, and in the meantime, I start prepping my other food. So the next food that we want to introduce into our system now is our fermented food. The fermented food, which is right here, is our I buy this sauerkraut in Costco. It's organic, it's raw. It, we love it. Our kids even love it, eating it. So that's what we have. And I take a small bowl, not a large bowl, just a small bowl, and I eat that just raw like this. This is that good bacteria. So this helps us put in that good bacteria into our system. um, so now that you have replaced the bad, you want to put in good.
So hold on
Also,
before you do that. For the fermented food, do you have other examples? I know we in one of the episodes, but like, can you give us two or three examples?
uh,
Can it be
I'm
pickles? Can it be pickles? Can it
Some
be?
it can be some pickles in brine depending how they're made and if there's no sugar put into them.
Mhm.
But yeah, but I believe there's also a cottage cheese right here on the side.
Oh,
If you like take the picture. So I found this cottage cheese. It has lots of live good bacteria in it. Um, so I go with this cottage cheese as well.
okay.
Sauerkraut has the best results, so that's why I always go for it. But if you really don't like sauerkraut, you can go for this cottage cheese.
Wasn't there something weird like a fermented kimchi or something that
Oh
you
yes,
were doing?
that's right. That's right. So you can also, and thank you for reminding me. I forgot about it. It wasn't my favorite, but I bought it once too.
Mhm.
Costco has a same container, bigger one with kimchi, fermented as well. That is also very good if you like something spicy and something different. Go for the kimchi as well. But my two go to that we have in the house, as you see, is the sauerkraut and the cottage cheese. All right, so you have put in some good bacteria. I also have kefir, but kefir I just drink sort of on the side because kefir has a little bit higher content of sugar naturally. Nothing's added, it's just naturally has a little bit more sugar. But this one I happen to love. This is just an additional amount of some good bacteria. I drink that. I drink that actually. It's my sweet cup after I have everything else to
I,
put even more good bacteria into my.
I attest to that. So, what I told you when you remember when you gave me a sample, you're like, "Oh, try it. This is so good." I
Yeah,
said, "That's awesome," but I'm probably not gonna remember that it exists. You know, I mean, you women know that we
yeah,
men, we're like little kids. We have to be reminded. Like, if you don't remind us every day,
yeah.
we're not gonna follow anything that's healthy for us. But the thing is, I'm speaking for just probably I hope smaller percentage of the guys, but yeah, this one was really good, and it didn't taste like it had sugar or whatever. But sometimes you know how sometimes if it's too organic, it tastes kind of weird. This one was actually really really good.
No, it's really good. I love it because it's 100% grass-fed cows, the
Yeah,
milk from the cows, and there's no sugar added. So it just naturally sweet from the
yeah.
process and just the milk. So it's a good snack. I even call it as a snack because that's how I used it in my last eating window. So that's okay. So we just put in good bacteria, right? Again, take about 15 minutes after that. That's what I do, and it's recommended. So everything kind of starts working through your system. In the meantime, I prepare my first meal. So your first meal needs to be probiotic and a clean protein. I combine that at that point. I use these organic mixed greens. The more tart your greens are, the better they are in feeding your good microbiome. I never knew that, you guys. This is something that again I found out as I we do this. So iceberg lettuce is the lowest part of lettuce of greens that you want to have in your diet. You want to go in with things that are arugula, spinach, anything that has like a little bit of a tart taste to it. This is the food for your good bacteria. This is
Yeah.
what's going to make a difference in your gut.
So the one thing we mentioned, and this was before episode because you were telling me about like a lot of time. To me, when I look at greens, green is green. So when I look at one of those pre-made like salads,
Mhm.
uh, to me it looks the same, right? But you were saying it's not like this is actually the preferable way to do it. I mean, the prepackaged one is probably better than a donut again, but it's
Yeah,
but if you have a choice, time, and if you can work it into your regular regime or routine when you're shopping and you go out, you want to grab the mixed greens, the regular stuff, not the pre-made salads. Which nothing wrong with
right.
the pre-made salads. We eat them all the
Mhm.
time. They
Yeah,
work. It's just Joanna. She's more of a purist, and we're talking about breaking a fast, so it's important. It's not the
correct.
regular food that you would eat. So
Mhm.
just wanted to make that distinction.
Correct, correct. I eat packaged salads with our dinner. That's not.
Yeah,
I love them, but because I've just worked hard on cleaning out my gut, I want to make sure I feed it the right things for the
yeah,
first meal.
yeah.
So, if you go back to the same picture, Marcin, please.
Hmm.
So we got our food for our gut, the nice greens. We have a nice fat and avocado, which your body loves. So you want to have a clean, good fat, as well as a good, clean protein. My choice is eggs because I love eggs. Um, so that's my protein. So if you go to the next picture now,
I'm getting hungry.
and and this is what my first meal looks like. So I have my little bowl of my sauerkraut. I have my greens on a plate. I have half an avocado there. That's my good fat. I also put olives on there. That's a good fat as well. I cut up two eggs and a little bit of cherry tomatoes. Not too much because tomatoes have a little bit more sugar on it, so I don't want too much sugar right first thing into my gut. On top of this, I put on, I don't have a picture of it here, but I put on like guacamole dry mix. There's nothing in there except just dried herbs that I put on top. And on there, I have a extra virgin organic olive oil and a balsamic vinaigrette. That is my dressing, you guys. And for so, I used to think that that was crazy when people did it. I was like, that's disgusting. How can they eat it this way? It is delicious. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
Listen,
Um,
listen to Italians.
yeah, it is delicious. So I don't measure. I just take my oil and I just go over my salad. I take my
Drizzle, yeah.
balsamic, go over my salad, and just eat it up. And once I finish this meal, I again take a break for 30 minutes. Let my whole body kind of go through the process of cleaning it up. Sometimes, if I've been eating really, really bad, I will have diarrhea. I will like I just feel like my body just empties everything out of the bad stuff. Um, I don't mind because it really cleans you out because you're even more pushing the bad stuff out and replacing it with the good. Um, so so yeah, but overall, you guys just keep in mind one thing: if you're breaking your fast, please break it with something savory. No matter how long you've been sleeping, even if it's only 8 hours, do yourself a favor and just have something that will not increase your glucose. The point of this is not to spike your glucose right away. And not only is that bad for your body, it makes you age quicker, but it increases your cravings for the rest of the day. So if you start your breakfast with, let's say, bagel and cream cheese, I love bagels. I'm not I'm not saying anything bad about bagels. Let me tell you, I will have them, but bagels now are my dessert actually after breakfast. So, um, so
I
so
wanted to say,
uh,
just wanted to say savory because you keep saying. I remember I had for those of you that do not know what savory breakfast is, like I didn't. It's what things you need to exclude because typically people go for, what is it like toasts, cereals. Like, do not try not to include that, right? This is
yeah,
what you mean by savory, right?
correct,
It
correct.
was actually a new word for me, strangely enough.
Yes. Uh, so savory is basically everything, eliminating carbs as much as possible,
Hmm.
uh, and anything that will increase your blood sugar. And carbs do it. All the oatmeals, the farinas, the grits, toast. These are all the things that will increase our blood
All the
sugar.
things we're used to. So
Yeah, correct.
any pancakes, any toasts, anything. It's just we. I think the way we look very at food very simplistically, it's meats and veggies and dairy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But yeah, yeah.
And it's for some people I see that it's a big challenge. I'm not sure how we sort of ended up here that where it's not a challenge because our sort of like Polish way of eating breakfasts. Um,
It's a sandwich.
you,
Most of
you,
the time, it was sandwich. If
a
you
lot of
think about it,
sandwiches, right? A lot of breads,
yes.
even in the morning. So. So yeah, cereal wasn't the thing, but yeah. So, but we gradually sort of just, I don't know, naturally gravitated to like eating eggs. For a lot of people, you say eggs and they sort of frown. They
Yeah.
don't like the idea of eggs.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But if you think about it, an egg is a nourishing object, right? I mean,
Yeah,
this is where the chicken has all its
yeah,
food, all its everything
right.
that it needs to develop into a chick.
Yeah,
So it is actually one of the healthiest things you can
yeah.
have.
And it's not the logical thing. It's the emotional thing about it, right?
Yeah.
Um, Same thing. I was just thinking about something. People don't like eggs, and what was the other thing? I can't think of it right now. Just let's just move on.
Yeah. So so you want your first meal to include all these things. Now, if you don't like eggs, it's okay. Have some chicken on top. Clean chicken, not in bread, just plain clean chicken. You can have a fatty fish, preferably a fatty fish, because you want that fat. So you can have a piece of salmon on top there. Um, tuna is not too fatty, but if you want to go with tuna, sure. Salmon would be your best option for fish.
Okay.
So yeah, that's about it. I think it's very important. I think if you get into the to this habit of doing these things, you will definitely see a difference. You will feel better, you will not be bloated, and you will crave less. So if you eat this way after not eating for so many hours, your body will not be overstimulated with all this food, and you will not overeat. Because what I used to do, I was like, okay, my eating window, I would put cheese in my mouth, I would put anything that I
Yeah.
can into my mouth while I'm making my breakfast. That never worked out well. I felt sick after. I would have to take Alka-Seltzer just to like get everything moving. So that wasn't doing the job. But this way, you'll definitely feel better.
Yeah. Um, and like we said, not a mandatory thing, right?
Yeah,
But
no.
strongly recommended. Is that the category?
Strongly recommended, and you will see benefits in the long run, right? Because the purpose of fasting is to lose weight. But in order to lose weight, you got to change your microbiome that's in your gut. And
Hmm.
in order to change your microbiome, you got to feed it the right things, you got to put in the right microbiome into your system. So fasting, fine, you can just fast and then put the things into your mouth, but I believe it's going to take you longer to lose the weight.
One last question, because I know you're doing like supplements in the morning, meaning like fish oils and things like that. Do you stay away from those?
No. So I just keep all my supplements as they are. There are people that do things 100% clean, will drink only water
Yeah.
and not have coffee. I don't. My 36 hours is coffee, it is water. I do take my electrolytes, and I do take my supplements.
Hmm.
It's working for me. Maybe when I'm, at my ideal goal and I want to do this, maybe then I can consider these different things. But just a perfect example, when I was 200 pounds and I ate a salad from a bag for breakfast, dinner, lunch, and dinner, it was perfectly fine because it was already better than how I was eating, right? But now since I'm losing those pounds, now I want to start
Yeah.
kind of dialing it in even more, right?
All right, cool. So let me see if I remember. So after extended fasting, I do broth first, some liquid, warm,
Correct.
preferably, maybe. And then I wait about 30 minutes.
Mhm.
Then I have my fermented food.
Correct.
Then I can't remember. Was there a break in between that and
About 15 minutes. I do
yeah?
15
So
minutes.
like
Yep.
try yeah. Okay, I see. So a little bit of a break, and then it was the what did you call it? Kefir,
Probiotic. So you
probiotic.
want to put in the good
Yeah,
bacteria now.
All right. So probiotic was next,
Yeah.
or like the cottage cheese, right? Or was the
Yeah.
cottage cheese? Yeah. Okay. Good. And
Yep.
then I have my greens and my egg and avocado and
Yeah.
maybe olives and
Yeah.
okay. And then you mentioned all those other foods. It's just like make sure you don't overwhelm your gut, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
You,
right. Cool.
and you, and some people combine things. Some people take the sauerkraut on top of get the half an avocado and put sauerkraut on top.
Yeah.
That gives you that good fat along with the good bacteria, right? I like avocado on my salad, so I
Okay.
do it this way. So
Yeah.
I feed my bacteria and feed my body all in one salad.
Yeah. Very cool. Um, any sort of last minute tips, or are we? Is that it pretty much for breaking a fast?
That is it for breaking a fast.
Hmm.
If you guys watched the last episode, we talked about our keto snacks. If you look at the last episode and look at that episode now, some of the foods are repeating because these are nutritious foods. These are the foods that are good for your gut. So it would make sense that the fasting snacks are now coming up as the food to break your fast with, because again the purpose is not to increase your glucose, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so you wanted some tips on traveling and eating.
Yes, that's right. Before I go, I need to know what's going on. Give me like a 4 bullet thing.
I'll tell you guys, this is the hardest thing for me when I travel and try not to eat. Everybody's eating around you and snacking on everything.
Joanna,
what
answer.
Huh?
I said, Joanna, answer the question.
Yes.
You're telling us how you feel. Just answer the question. I need to know.
Number Very important, you guys. Number one thing, do not be embarrassed to bring your own food when you're traveling. I see more and more people do it. All the healthy people that are sitting out there,
Yeah.
late the last my travel was even to the next level. The guy had his own like container with his rice, chicken, and broccoli. And that's what he sat and ate next to me while I was fasting at that time, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's it. But let me tell you, he was like
Yeah.
lean mass,
Yeah.
Uh, so people that know do this. So don't be afraid. What I do is
I don't think it's. I don't think. I'm sorry to break
Mhm.
to break sort of jump in there, but like I think honestly, like we it's not the like, oh, I don't feel comfortable with bringing my food. It's more like an excuse to like, well, I can't bring my food, so I'm just gonna snack on bullshit. I like I
Yeah,
honestly think it's more of that than like I think we're all are comfortable with just
yeah,
bringing something.
yeah, yeah. So, but what I do is, especially when I travel to Mexico to work, it's a little bit longer flight, longer wait periods. I do my wrap, those egg wraps. I do
Yeah.
2 egg wraps with whatever cheese, with some lettuce inside, with ham inside. I do 2 boiled eggs.
Hmm.
I take some carrots or celery sticks,
Hmm.
along with I take also a Ziploc bag of nuts
Yeah.
and a grass-fed beef stick.
You're kind of loading up your bag, kind of like our kids when we go to the park.
Yeah, I do. You guys
Yeah.
would laugh. I have a
Yeah.
bigger Ziploc bag with all my snacks and my
Yeah.
peanut butter, those pouches, um,
Right.
along with my electrolytes.
Because and electrolytes, you're right. Because it's easy to tuck yourself out of something, eating an egg or and then
Yeah,
doing it. Yeah, I gotcha. So it's just bunch of alternatives. You don't eat when you when you leave in the morning? I have it's a night flight, so
yeah,
I don't have to kind of worry about it. But yeah, I see. So bunch of snacks, and that's what you eat before you board on the plane and shortly after, and that gets you
yeah.
through to the next meal.
It gets me through to the next meal. I just buy coffee, in Starbucks. And if I want coffee with something heavy cream, you guys always heavy cream. Or if it is your eating window and you want to treat yourself, then have a cappuccino or a macchiato with a full milk.
All right.
For milk, all nut milk.
All right. Sounds good.
So
Okay, so we got the breaking covered. We got the tips for travel. Any last minute thoughts?
No, that is it. Just fast
Uh,
on, my friends.
All right, guys. Happy Thursday. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you. Bye.